Okay, welcome. Let's see. I'm gonna need a little bit of time to set up. How are you guys doing? Let's see. Oh, hear myself. That's good. That's my check works. I hear myself. Let's turn that off. Okay. How are we doing? I'm going to ran into a little issue. Probably should have tech checked this a little bit earlier. Whoops. Yeah, it's just on my end that I got really busy and involved in on a different project, and you'll see. I'll go over it. So, yeah. Interest of time, I don't know if I'll be able to easily solve it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of... It's a weird tech thing that's like, ooh, I'm not actually sure how to fix it. Really. Let's see. It's a Toon Boom thing, so unless someone's able to look through all the manuals for Toon Boom and like figure it out and go, what's going on? Okie dokie. Blah, 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 blah. A little early on that. Okay. Either way. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Star and Cookie, and everyone else who's maybe in chat. Oh, there you go. Hi, Ruthian. Nope, nope, nope. Trying to do 3 buttons. There we go. Ruthanium. Hello. Everyone else, too. Yeah. This is a little unfortunate that I feel kind of like a little embarrassed about this, but yeah, I kind of got the 2 characters set up, but bad thing is that yeah, they're both they use the same palette or something bad happened where they're essentially using the same palette, which is using the same color. So if I switch between these 2 scene palettes, either they both have Sunny's body color, or they both share Izzy's body color. I'm sure this is a common issue, but it's just like I'm not sure at this point what to do. So I started like really quickly making this Izzy new one, and maybe I can just make it a whole new palette and then just work from there. Problem is that I can't like eyedrop it to be the right one unless I see the other one. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, I can't see both unless I put this one on top and then try to figure this out and go, you know, try and do like this color, then have it be Star Scout, and then go into, I already had the skull open, I go to this one and say colorize, then go to Star Scout, Sunny, and then it's colored, so it's like that's the right color. So basically we'll have to go through every single image here, then slowly rework it so that I have a new palette that then separates them into 2 different colors. So it's like I just set this up. I imported them both. I didn't test both of them in the same scene. I imported them in the same time. So yeah, I'm just gonna set it back, and hopefully you'll be okay with this and go, why is this weird? Why are they same color? It's gonna be okay. I'll fix it. But I think for right now it's just like let's move on. So fortunately I put them in the same scene like 5 minutes ago, and then I was freaking out of like, wait a minute, that's not right. So do you want both of them to be Sunny or Izzy? And then we can probably just swap between them every once in a while. Whenever we need one of them, I guess, and focus on one of them, I guess we can switch over. But for right now, it's like, yee. Yeah. Thank you. That's also a side effect. I didn't get the chat going. I can see it, but not you guys. Here's like a secret little Streambox file I have to go boop. Yeah, to do that. Okay. Thank you, Star. Oh, a bunch of funs. Let's move on from that then. Okay. The fun thing is that I worked on it enough that it's like they both have their heads and hair rotation, so I focus on that more over the weekend and everything. So now I got older expressions, a little bit desync, but that's okay. As long as they have every frame, then that's okay. I think I just started one frame earlier. Yeah. So don't worry about this. Everything's normal. This is animation. This is fine. Everything's okay. Same with all these pictures. They're doing just fine. Everything's gonna be just fine. With all of these are horrible. But basically what I had to do was still weird Toon Boom stuff of trying to figure things out and going like, why are they sort of weird? Is that when making libraries and master controllers and stuff, it's yeah, it's basically old minus master controller stuff. Master controller is this little controller thingy back here. That allows me to do their head rotations. We'll get into that, how complex it is. Mine is that, trying to get him into the scene. For whatever reason, it doesn't take every single frame. It takes as many frames as, or drawing substitutions as I expose them for. So, I'm trying to, so I have like an easy file. I have a file that has just easy, and I'm working on that in solo. But then it's like I need to import it into a new scene that has both of them as well as the storyboard and stuff. So I import them. I have to import them. I have to do this huge thing of exposing every single frame of every single drawing of every single possible thing that swaps around is all the facial stuff. So it just becomes this mess of like every single time I have to put these characters into a scene. It's like otherwise they get deleted or they don't actually show up. So I've had try to make libraries of characters and it's like where's this eyebrow? I import a character into a scene and go, there's no, you know, there'd be like 1 or 2 eyebrows and somebody be missing. And it's like, where did they go? Like, I know they were in the original file, but it seems to only take them when they're actually exposed on the actual timeline at the bottom. So it's like, So, I'm not even drawing yet, and it's like, just like trying to explain stuff, and it's just like, what am I even doing? About complex and trying to explain it is just like, ugh. But it's way more powerful than Flash, and you can do a lot more stuff with it. But it's just like, man, this setup and trying to weave around the Toon Boom weirdness is really gets in the way sometimes of like, why is this even happening? Of how weird and complex it is of like trying to figure things out. I'll go into the node view and start animating soon. So let's I've never seen a video where anyone actually addressed, like, you have a turnaround or whatever, and you have like 100 frames of it. You import it into a scene, but the only way to really have these pictures actually exist so that Magic Controller can actually use it is if you expose it for every single frame, but then you have all these keyframes literally just, this is the animation and this is the timeline now. So how do you work with this? The only way that I've seen that's kind of been good is that you just go back in and you just delete every single frame that they'd be exposed for and just delete it except for the first frame so that they can still exist, because otherwise they're really gone. And so they exist here, and so I'll just go to the end here, select both things. They're huge, so it takes a while to select them both, and then press F5 to expose it for every single frame, and out of here. And now they don't spin around, now they're still. So every single shot and every single character, I would have to do that. I'm sure there's other ways, but man, I've never seen anyone document what to do when you have a master controller, one of these, you know, spinny animations, and then it's like, what do you do to get rid of it? Or do you go across it? Do you animate like 1,000 frames into your scene, and then for every single one of those, it's like, that doesn't make sense. So anyway, hi. Okay, sorry, I got into that weird thing. Hello, cartoons. Let's see. New VTubers dropping soon, guys. Anyway, that'd be fun. Okay, so I got the storyboard and we got the scene. Is that Izzy gives Sunny a rock with the word cool scribbled on with can the end. Thank you for that suggestion. So this is what I storyboarded it. Kind of timed it out a little bit slower than last time. And I got this little picture too. So this is the Izzy shot to like round it out and go, okay, the end. So if all of this looks good, then we can start to plan things out from this. You know what I mean? I think that works pretty good. It's going to be obviously pretty short. 149 frames is 5 to 6-ish seconds. 120 is 5, so if you add 20 more, it's about almost 6 seconds or so. Roundabouty there. So, sometimes my storyboards are a little bit faster too, so sometimes I need like more time to do certain actions or something. But yeah, let's see. Okay. I think I was going for more like a Pinkie Pie, like much more very, very happy, like hee. But of course we can always go for like the Pony Life, you know, style of like how they exaggerate their expressions or like they seem more manic than than usual. With their very fluid facial expressions. I'm sure when I use the puppets, I'll probably just use this as a rough base, but not try to make this. It'll be extreme, but not probably. Usually make my puppets usually less extreme than my pictures, but yeah. And welcome, Purple. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's get going on here. I also want to make backgrounds as well. Oh, I also had the idea of whether we should have her wear her, or just rollerblade. Should we add that? Shouldn't take too tricky long to do that. Having Sunny roll. What's the verb? Use, ride, play with rollerblades. Rollerblades, roller skates. I don't know. They got wheels. Is that a roller? Well, I messed myself up. Scroll onto the scene. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Is that, yeah, we can just probably just add in storyboard picture beep. This is my isolated view of this one element. Of course, there's other things going on, but that's okay. Is that I can go onto another layer just in case. Use my color. Figure out what color this is. That's not. It's probably I'm using Izzy's black there. Interesting. Is that I can give her a helmet. We'll figure this out and and with the puppets, but we can like add rollerblades. There you go, onto her. And then you want to select all of this so we can go weesh. Maybe like select some of these pieces here, kind of like going wee on here. So it's like now she's going to be riding onto the scene, and then let's only need to copy this bit onto here, and now she's got it. Oh yeah, still on selected things. Okay, so beep beep beep. Select. That's why we use sublayers. So I can just do that. I have a lot of frames here apparently. There you go. Cool. And then on here, we can add in just a helmet. To every frame here. They already had it apparently. Yep. Now we're drawing. Okay. I only have one picture here, so we could make this a little bit less. What would make it less scary? I guess just making the eyeballs less. Probably just redraw the eyes. No, that's still weird. Is that cuter? Maybe it needs like little highlights or something. Technically, those are cute eyes, but I think they're not quite. Maybe this mouth needs to be smaller. Trying to make it less scary. Just a little bit less. Trying to make it like slightly smaller. More angled. Everybody's happy closed. I think I did that at the start. Like, yeah, this is her with her eyes closed at the start. So I think to have that contrast, to have her eyes open at the end. Or we can swap these around to have her look here with eyes open, and then this point here is that she's like reacting to Sunny, like looking up and saying like, what? And then Izzy's like, do you like it? Kind of a thing, like, haha, like, eh? Like a little like, eh? Some sort of like eyebrow thing, like, ooh, no. Like, yeah, I did it. Kind of a thing there. It's big cheeks. Cheek go up there. And cut some of this. Like, yee. I even thought some like heavy breathing or something to add on to it. Let's see. I can't use my flash tools. Let's see. Hello. Okay. I get a free one, so have fun working on animation, going to sleep. Okay. Thank you, Purple. Thank you. Hope you have fun with school. There you go. And Hope Buttercup, welcome. Working on the storyboard. Let's see. So what do we got? In a sense, I could like move her. Or I can't. So have her be more off screen, and then she like goes into the screen. That. I was also thinking like maybe she'd be like somehow scared of like, what is this? Like maybe right here. Of course, she doesn't really know what it is, so it's kind of like, oh. Like then she like sees it going down, and then she's like, oh. And then beep, 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 beep. Something like that. So, plump. Some kind of reaction to her. To have her go, whoa. Let's copy all of this. Goes to the next frame. Just easier to delete that all. Copy all of this. Go to the next frame. What I should have done was had each of these characters on different levels or different layers, so I can play around with these a little bit easier. Now I'm going all over the map of trying to get these around. Apparently I didn't copy it. Sorry. Beep. There you go. Okay. There. That's it. So is it going to be running here? And then boop. 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 And so this will be the scene where we can have the most like amount of Easter eggs or whatever else we want to add on to it. I was thinking like extra stickers or extra little things to do whatever we want to show here. So when you get to like maybe like a more final, I'll be asking for me like things of different small objects or something that could be, or I guess anything, and just have them be small stickers on it. Main thing is that the script calls for, whoop, the script's gone. There it is. Is that the word cool is the only thing that's kind of important, I guess. I guess we could change that too, but I guess that was part of the initial pitch. So, gotta respect that as much as I can. I think everything else is pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Let's make a rough background. I guess in here I can also make a rough background too. Be very rough. While we're here. Let's see. Yep. Yep. I see it. Let's see. Keeping it cool is enough unless you want to distract the joke. Yep. Yeah, when we get there, we can figure that out, but definitely cool. Be probably around this size, maybe more, larger, and then probably just like a sticker that's probably like only like this big or something, and be like, oh, it's a bean, you know? Be like, that's it, and just be like a sticker so it has an outline or whatever. Hip. Be a little thing there and go, okay, and then you just add extra things around it. It's only like, you know, so big. Is that okay? Obviously it'll be distracting. It's like her art project. It's like, check it out, Sonny, I made a cool rock art project thing. And so it's gonna be some gaudy, you know, sort of so bad it's good style of art project thing. Let's see. And hello. Welcome, Sasha, I think. Welcome. How are we doing? Let's make up the background. So I need to have a... Oh, I forgot I can just make straight lines. There you go. Okay. It's still a weird line. That's weird. It's at extra points. Let's make it like that. What I can do is add, go in here. If I change this, yeah, that works. Okay, let's make this like grayish, and so it'll be slightly, looks slightly transparent. Okay, what should the background be? I think we were thinking of Maritime Beach, which I might need a reference, but my idea was that it was just going to be maybe like a wall or something, like a brick wall, and then you can see the ocean, and then some clouds. It'd probably be a traveling shot, so that's going to be interesting too. Let's see. Get some waves in there. Let's see. There you go. Just add some more details into here. And hello, Mario. Welcome. And a couple more in there. Okay. Hello. Welcome, welcome. I was gonna put little lines on the clouds. I'm so used to that. It's gonna shift this over. Let's see, then we can probably add a cute little sun in the back and go. Alright, get rid of that. Maybe that'll be fine. Okay, and then this is the stone wall. Something like that. And then probably, is this brick or is this grass? I was thinking it was gonna be like some grass or something. Maybe half and half. This is really complicated. Making this more complicated for myself here. Is that I can add some sort of like grass here, and then perspective sidewalk. That can work. I can move these up. Or just get rid of this. And then say for these ones, these just get elongated. Something like that. Maybe this could be like some trees or something. I don't know at this point. Some sort of vegetation. I figured that out. Yeah, I'll have to like look, but I think this will probably get us. This will get us pretty far, I think. Which is a rough. Usually tend to. Haven't really done too many streams of making backgrounds, so usually they're kind of boring in terms of like, yeah, it's kind of just making it. Not too much. There's that into it, but it's like, yeah, not as much as you think. And then we'll just kind of shift the background over, and then we'll add a tween. Look, she's moving. Haha. Check it. Let's kind of move this back. Oh, something bad's happening. Uh-oh. Well, okay. Hang on. I knew something bad was happening. Ah, jeez. Okay. It's kind of like Flash. It's like, oh, you erase one little line. You erase like 1 point vector line on a line, and then Flash just crashes. I'm opening it up. I got Toon Boom's little opening box, and let's see. It's not responding. Give it one more second. There to the beach. How you guys doing? Hi, Elijah. I can't wave to you as I'm not here. Hi, Ben. Will I design a G5 Derpy? Ooh. I'll wait for. Yeah, maybe I'll just wait for the movie first, and then see what happens. In case there's somehow, it's very unlikely that there'll be a Derpy. Maybe like a Derpy analogy or like whatever, where it's kind of like a character that's kind of similar, and then we can gravitate towards there maybe. Looks good. Let's go back. Nice little break from there. There you go. But yeah, if I watch the movie and there's no Derpy, then I'll probably have to design my own or figure out what kind of where'd the background go? Well, background's gone. Alright, where'd it go? Keyframe for the background's not there. Usually it saves like every 10 minutes, so that's unfortunate. Is there no other? Yeah, that's it. All right, let's start over. Okay, now we got an idea for it, so we can try to draw this a little bit better. Okay. We want this. Is there anything else weird? How far did we actually go back? We got the hat. And we decided that. Same thing. Yeah, I think we're at the background. Okay. I'm trying to pull up a picture for it, but I can't actually find it. Maritime Beach? Maritime. Maritime? Someone spell it? Someone help me spell it? Oh, you got it there. Maritime Beach. Maritime? I was just find a trailer then just looking at my other screen here, sorry about that. Let's see. That's close. Let me just find the actual video. Sorry. Let's find a video. Okay. Got that. Yeah, there's... let's see. Okay, I found it. I'm scared to show it. Okay. Let's see. I found a trailer. I think I'm good. Thank you. Let me see if that's close. Maritime Beach. Ooh. No. Okay. Let's get on here. I have an idea. Or at least a revision. It's gonna be okay. Happy accidents. It's okay. Let's get this gray. And then... Oh, no. What are you doing, Toon Boom? Toon Boom's been acting weird. It's been okay earlier today, but now just like right now trying to do this it's like been a little fussy. Okay, so I got a picture. I'm looking at the Netflix from August 12th, New Generation official trailer, and I'm at 12 seconds in, so if someone wants to guess I could just link it. And then you'll have to make open like a new tab or something. And then find like 12 seconds in. That's where I am. And then 11, 12, yeah. Okay, so instead of showing it on stream, I can link the video. And then have you guys in a new tab find it at that 12-second mark. What am I doing? I probably just make that and see what that looks like, where it has this big heel and then way too much detail in there or something. Let's make a bunch of rocky, whatever, just blocks at this point. Go whoop whoop. And then this big tree. Is everyone finding it okay? Are you guys watching it? You got it? Okay, cool. And then let's start a tree here. And then this goes up pretty high up with the ocean there. It's not much cloud, so I guess that's okay. And then these kind of go over. Get a save. Beep. Okay. And then we'll just add some perspective lines. Okay. And then we can just like add more details as we need them. These are clouds. And then we could just probably just put like a big happy sun right in the middle. Okay. Put that there. Beep. Okay. And now animate the background. Line it up. Make it actually less. Beep. Okay. And then let's animate it to go with the rough as well. I just had like a spider sense of like, real spider sense of like, that's not working right. Right before it crashed, it's like, huh. Something that shouldn't take that long of like moving the keyframes around, you know. It should have been like as quick as that. And then it was like freaking out and it was like stuck in here for like way too long. And it's like, huh. That's not right. Okay. We got that. And we'll see here that here's the new new picture. I would just add some extra little like, we call these like the pinwheel background, where it's these radiating lines that come out like that. So it'll be like that. See if that works. There, it's a little bit shorter. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. New picture. What should be in the background? Because we just had a pinwheel, which is like, it's not gonna be as a direct cut in. A direct cut in will be, it'll be literally just a sidewalk, and then we're just zoomed in on it. What I want to do is have a solid color background, and then have these pinwheel designs of little triangle-y, rectangle-y shapes that come out of it. It might spin around or animate or whatever, but it's not going to be a realistic background of whatever this was. But the rock will be hopefully more detailed. So I'm wondering for this one, because we just had the fake background, basically, should these ones then go back to reality? Or can these also be like just some basic solid color, but then we just have like even one of these kind of radiating lines and kind of come out and kind of focus on her, I guess, around her face. I did that for like the city in part 4 of my movie, where some of those shots were actually 2D, fully 2D shots. I could have made them in 3D, but it's like the time it would take to actually do all the 3D process was going to take a while. So instead I just had the background and character animation for some of those insert shots of like Derpy kind of being afraid and scared out. I had those be 2D completely, and the background was just like, I saw like green color to match like the streak color in an earlier shot. So it was sort of like color harmonious, but it wasn't an accurate kind of background like this. Probably gonna blur the background anyway, so at least I can just probably just get some continuity, maybe at least with this, and probably like add like a tree that's kind of like just like back here or something, and like add some foliage or something into here and go. Wow. More of an animator than artist, which can be different. There's hundreds of artists and animation jobs, so you can be pigeonholed into storyboarder or animator, so that's kind of, it's okay. Yeah, I work better with some more sketchy kind of style here. Beep, beep, beep. And go, eh? Probably also see the ocean, which probably at the horizon. So something like that. Okay. I'd like to just remove lines that are directly covering her. Okay. How we doing? Something like that. Obviously, it's just a sketch, so we'll probably have to really go in and add a whole bunch more stuff into here. But not too much, because I'm probably going to blur it. So, new picture. So we're like that. And if we continue on the trail, it would be nice if it just like went downward, but I guess that makes sense. It'll still be kind of like this though. But maybe can even go kind of leading into her. I'm trying to figure out the perspective. Maybe it's going to be a little bit lower with this here. Or even with what I could do is also just kind of have it be, have this one be the fake background, the pinwheel one. I mean, this doesn't have to be real. Maybe up it a little bit. And some more details and other little bips there. I think we're probably good. And then end, to which we'll have a new blank picture. Beep. Okay, so now we got whoop. Cool. What? Yee. The end. Might slow down on some parts. But I like having my storyboards be relatively fast in terms of pacing, so then I can feel like I can add more into it once I get into like actually animating it. So it does kind of, yeah, you know, it's not quite accurate. If I was doing this for like a real production with a new real director and showing this to them, they'd be like, this is too fast. And be like, well, the way that I animate, I'm used to having storyboards be relatively quick, and then adding in time or making things shots like longer. So I feel like it's better to have it be quicker than slower, just to like keep up the pace, you know, because there's so many like fan animations, not to like really get on that topic, but a lot of fan animations where it's just kind of like either they get so slow that it's like the story beats are so far apart from each other that it seems like you could have like a full, you know, sitcom laugh track, you know, play a full one in between each gag, and it's like, okay. So stuff like that is like you can kind of go pretty quick because animation is so so not realistic, and it's like so interpretive that you can do whatever you want with it. That's like, yeah, you can play around with timing too, that you don't have to make things too fast or too slow. It's like, yeah, you can play around with it. Don't have to be tied down to realistic timings and stuff. You can still kind of do the Hollywood style of like how jokes are kind of laid out, or at least with the timings of it, comedic timing and all that. So I want to respect that. Obviously don't want to just go, you know, and have that be the cartoon, but just like somewhere in the middle, I feel like it's good. I tend to have shots be around 3, 4, 5 seconds. 5's pretty kind of slow, because your brain kind of gets kind of tired if there's something not moving for too long. Like if this shot was like 20, 30 seconds of her really only doing her rolling on roller skates for like 20 seconds, and that's, you know, kind of slow. Or even a minute, you know, keep going, you know, it gets crazy. But if it's just kind of like enough to go, oh look, there she is, you know, establishing plot, you know, plot happens in like 1 second. in the real animation might have it be roughly 2 seconds. Might have some time to have like a fade up from black. So stuff like that, you know, I feel like is isn't, I know from myself of my personal experience of like I know that I'll add that in, so I'm not like tying this down into exact numbers right now. So yeah. I wasn't thinking of anyone in specific, but just kind of like maybe a couple people. I was thinking about the more, you know, new baby artists and animators who are getting the ropes. I mean, I've had to do it. Watch my 2013 animations. They're they're slow too and very awkwardly paced. So even I've done it too. But each year I keep making stories that are like keeps getting faster and faster. I've noticed that for my more recent ones, like 2017 to now. It's like, wow, these are pretty fast, all things considered. It's like, huh. Let's see, are these about the right size? So yeah, I think everyone just kind of gets through that pace too. I want a multi-port in, and I don't know how to get that in. There it is. Okay. Gotta search for it. I want to connect it though, and that's the problem. Is that there's no connecty. Oh, there you go. Hey, I did it. I've never actually successfully done that. Because I want to peg on this layer so I can do this. Sun, master peg. Just a little weird semantics of like I want it to be, have a peg, put the animation outside on this view, and then on the inside of the character, I can still have this to like add squash and stretch or whatever, but I would like to be able to just move the character wherever I want on the stage or like scale them with this parameter peg thing. So problem is that there's no way to actually, if I added the peg right now to her, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't take it because there's no way to, there's no little box to let me get in there. So got to do the same multi-port in, and then beep, and then now there's a little box, and then I can inject that in there. Okay, so I can add peg there. Peg animation thing. Okay. So it also seems she's getting clipped between the hairs in between there, so I'll probably have to go back into one of these and fix that up, but right now I'm just gonna do quick layout. Just get the couple shots that we have and work on that with these two. Okay. I know, I talked about the color thing at the beginning. That I think I have an inkling of how it happened. Is this whole like Toon Boom has palettes. You know, you guys know what palettes are? How far do I have to like describe it? Is that remember Bob Ross? He has that big wood circle plate that has all the paint on it, and so you can like use the circle thing to quickly choose between all the different colors that you want. So he has this big circle and it's got a little finger hole, and then you put all your paint up on here. So imagine all these colors as being individual hexadecimal, you know, here's red and it's like, oh, it's F, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you know, that's like a number code for the specific color, and then this is specific palette. So this will be like Izzy or something, and then here's Funny has her own set of colors for all these. And so what happened is I must have done a very specific event, series of events to have these kind of share the same palette. So they're using certain colors are essentially referencing each other, kind of like that. How do you do the whoop, that? So these codes are somehow being shared between two different palettes, but it's like these are the same colors, right? Based on like very low level coding or something, coding into it. So it's like, sure, we'll do that. So the way that I made I started with Sunny, and when I made Izzy, I think what I did was I just duplicated. What did I do? I either cloned or duplicated or one of these different things, and these are very, very specific on what these actually mean. Duplicating and clone. So they either share their exact numbers or actual low level, these could be different colors. These can be completely different. 3, 4, 5. These can be complete opposite colors. And then, but if it thinks that the inner, matrix code, whatever, is the same, then it'll apply the same code it is. So even if they're different outside colors with different palettes, it'd be like, well, this equals this. So because you cloned it instead, you didn't change it, or something weird with that. So so you get this. And based on whatever palette that I'm showing at one time, or whatever's at the highest hierarchy, these palettes are in hierarchies as well. So yeah. So the main thing is that Toon Boom thinks that if they want you to use it in a way that if you want like a different the same character but in a different time of day, you can make a new Izzy at night palette, and then you can swap between them easily. So that's kind of the reason, is that you can have the same coding to say, hey, I'm going to use a different palette, but then apply it to the same pieces with these different colors. So that's sort of what's happening, is that Izzy's taking on the Sunny's palette, but some of it isn't. So it's like, what? And so I'm probably going to spend time trying to figure out what's going on, but at least for right now, this is kind of fun. It's that only their body color is changing, so who even knows why that even happened? I don't know. Let me get some juice and I'll do the layout. Ugh. Okay. Hello. Let's see. Here go. Hello. And listen to Star, please. Okay. Hang on. Okay, it's not gonna use these. Okay, so these are gonna be here. Easy's gonna be off screen. I'm gonna have her be roughly the same vertical height, whatever. Let's add a origin point so that where they're gonna rotate is gonna be there. Instead of changing let's get Izzy's master controllers not showing up. This one? There they are. For some reason they're not showing up for some reason. Let's go into their stuff. Let's just say always. Make their visibility, no matter what happens, make them always visible. So there you go. Let's add the little cross lines to see where the actual origins of those are. Okay. And then I can go through these and say, here's Izzy. Get both of these out of the way, and then add a couple frames here. Izzy's still out of the way, but now we'll have her here. And I know this is the only shot where it should be like this, so I can just add her to be the right scale. And then I'll flip her to be the right position as well next time. Next pass, I guess. Let's get her to be the same original scale. and have her over here. Now it's Izzy's turn. What was the scale of her? 2.19. Go into here, go to Izzy, and say 2. 2. And then just be happy with that. And then she's got bigger hair, so it's okay. And just kind of place her right about there. And then go to the last shot. And then have it be original scale 1. Okay. Might be wondering, they're still on the stage. That's okay. Only the square inside of here will actually render. So beep. And we'll go in here, render it. Because the color card's black, so you can't see the black text, but yep, they're only going to show up if they're inside of this box. So that's okay. Okay. Obviously I need to play with the master controller stuff, but we'll do that later. We need Izzy to animate, but that'll be when we actually animate it. So she's in the right scale, so that's okay. It'll show up there. And of course there. So and she's actually facing right away there. So I think that's good for now. What I could probably do is just set up this and set up her facing the right way. Alright, here's the magic controller posing stuff. So you can see how magic this is. Works out pretty well. Obviously it pops near the middle, but if it just kind of stays in the right certain areas, then it's okay. Okay. So she'll be here. Izzy's facing the right way. And then nothing's going on here. So we need Sunny to still face that way. That's good. And then she's facing that way. So everything's set up. Cool. Okay. That's layout. Obviously all the extra little bips here. Like the eyeballs. Seems to not be right scale. I think it has to be flipped this way. And then the other eyeball needs to be over here. And so there. So now if I move it, it'll be still relative. But yeah, that works. Okay. So now she's there. And then that's good. Okay. And then it's just be setting up the real backgrounds and then actually animating them. Maybe add some key poses and stuff. I think that's going to be good for now. Over here, we can add one more thing of adding the fade up. That should be quick. Actually, I need that color card. Let's just use this. I don't care about it. This color card's going to be the black fade up. So I need it to be on top of everything at the start. And so we'll have it be black. And we're going to set its forward position to be close. Boop. Close as we can within reason. And then after a while, we need to set its transparency. So either that's in here. There's an alpha. If I go to start, add a keyframe to the alpha number, hopefully. We'll see if this works. After like a couple seconds, animate this to then be 0. Get rid of this. Yep. And so that's how that's going to animate. So obviously the storyboard is a little bit fast. It's already going. That's how that's going to happen. So that's a fade up. Okay. What I can probably do is just make a new card. We don't actually need the cards. Cards are just kind of for when we just need to check to see the background's working or not. That's how it works. Okay, so and then for the background we'll do whatever color we need to do for that. And then have the fade out. So we'll add another keyframe to be black, or it's gone right now, and then after a while it goes back to 255, which is full black, and then that's it. So we'll get rid of the automatic tween there. Yep. And so it kind of fades up and down. Okay. We haven't even animated yet. Look how complicated this already seems like already. Let's put you here. I put you into the background. I think that's where it was. I couldn't copy paste. It seemed like this is the same asset or whatever. It's the same color card as over here. But if I copy paste it, it would have got the same attributes. So it would have done the black color, the tween and stuff. So if I just copied it, it would have got this one to be the black and color and fade up and fade down. When I wanted this one to just be plain and just white. So that's why I had to do it like that. Was to make a new one. But there we go. Okay. Let's play it through here a couple times and then go to end card. So we're getting there. We got weird grape sunny. Purple sunny, grape flavored sunny. Yeah, I'll figure out what I did, and then if I figure out what I did wrong, then I can probably go back to the original puppet that I had before, the original file that the puppet was in, and make a new palette for it. So it's gonna be okay. There's probably gonna be not too many assets. There's not too many pieces, thankfully. I think it's just like the skull, the nose, ear, and body, and then each leg. And so just those parts, really. I don't know how it got wrong. I don't know when I was making the palette, I didn't realize which one I should have done. You know, like, oh, of course I should have done the clone versus the duplicate. That changes everything. It really does. So unfortunately, yeah, that happened. It almost worked. Almost in time. Let me just check I have a couple emails. Just let me quickly just look through here. See if there's anything super important. Okay, cool. Hi guys. Welcome back. Let me stop the animation on my screen. There you go. How you guys doing? That was... Hello. Yeah. Yeah, if the pre-consensus or pre-notion of you thinking that animation is not technically challenging, or you just need creative skills, you just need drafting skills, that's it. If you think animation is just sitting and drawing pretty pictures all day, with digital animation, it's a completely different world. Weird stuff like this happens a lot. Maybe that's just me, maybe it's just my experience, but it's like, man, I spent like over a third of my time, that's probably 2/3 of my time just fixing computer mistakes or fixing errors that's like, I didn't really do that, or weird outcomes to like, I wonder what this button does, you know. So a lot of it is just like with digital animation and this specific stuff and Toon Boom stuff and very Flash stuff too, is like I'm spending 2/3 of my time just trying to rework to make things actually work the way that I intended it to. The other third of the time is just like making stuff and not having no issues and just like working on it, you know. Yeah, so as I said at the top, it's like, yeah, I just imported both of these characters into the same file, and that's just kind of how it happened. That's kind of how it came out. It's like, oops, oh, okay. And then I knew that the way that I had to like fix it was gonna be weird and convoluted, and I was like, great. It was gonna be too much trouble because I think I would have to go to each one or make a new thing or the first thing I did was to try to duplicate the Izzy one and then try to see if I can make that kind of work, but that didn't really work either. So yeah, So it might only take like maybe like a half hour to fix that up. Okay. Key marks are only on the left side. Let me make a note of that. I can actually make a note somewhere. I think there's a node called note. Yep. I can bring this up real quickly just to show you this real quick. There's a note node, and in here you can write kitty marks on. Are you saying like their left flank, or I guess what's the other way? Like if you're looking at her like from here, it'll be on her sort of left side. But yeah, I'll leave that up to note. Okay, and so beep. So I got this note of like cutie mark on left flank. Thank you so much. I'll rewatch the trailer as well and be double check that as well. Thank you so much for checking out that. Okay, back. See you later. Take care. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you so much. Thank you, mods and everyone. Thank you. Okay. Let me put the note somewhere I can see it. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the time it's just fixing mistakes or like stuff that's like didn't intend to happen. I hope people realize that. Is there people who still think, or is that weird to say? That's kind of how it is. Are there people who think that animating is you draw a picture and then that gets scanned and then that's the final thing that goes on TV? That's an extreme simplification. There's like a million other steps, so I'm wondering if you guys think like you just draw a picture and then that gets on TV and then, you know, that's it. Move on to the next picture, because there's a lot more steps into that. Also involving storyboard, layout, SketchUp, concept art, prop design, character design, sometimes rigging, depends, 2D, 3D rigging, background design, composition, and for just regular animation, there's, I don't know, first layout, first sketches, first keys, and then tie downs, and then there's cleanup, which is a whole extra step that simplified would probably just be like you're erasing the bad lines, but it's like you're actually just making a new picture. You have a new paper, and you're just tracing the original animation drawing again, but just prettier. And then that depends on what style. If it's digital, then you already don't need to do the traditional step. Traditional step would then scan that onto a Xerox or make it cell onto celluloid, and then paint on the back of it with color ink, and then that goes onto a, I don't know the actual step of the, how does it get onto a film, or it gets captured by camera onto a somehow device. You have a cell and you layer all the different pictures, the different final cell pictures, and then those get taken and exposed for 1 to 2 frames, and then that gets photographed and then on film. So digital, it's like, yeah, it's already on film technically, unless you, if the getting on film, I guess, is rendering it to an MP4. Yeah. So yeah. There's a lot more steps. Any other? That wasn't even a question. No one actually asked that. I just came up with that. I was like, if there were more questions, it's like I asked that. I'll get some juice. Oh, Everfree. That happened last weekend, a couple days ago. Yeah, that would be last weekend. Yeah, I I decided not to go, so I didn't go this year. I have gone to several Everfrees in the past and the last BronyCon, so um, I've been on like 2 or 3 different panels, but not on my own. I always had a whoever I was working with at the time with their big projects is like, hey, I'm your little animator elf, you know. I'm the animator elf, and hi. And then the big YouTuber or whatever be like, all right, I'm gonna talk about whatever, and I have nothing to say. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't able to make it this year. I just decided not to go. Um, I'm starting to like sort of transition away when it's like I'm still doing so many projects already, and a lot of people are still commissioning me. And there's one that's probably gonna come up that someone wants me to get back in the horse and work on stuff, and I'm doing Midnight Mares currently. So it's like I'm still on the horse train and animating horses. So definitely not out of the thick of it with that. So it's kind of like sort of want to transition away in case I need to do. Um, if I want to do studio stuff, it's like I probably want to not have my entire portfolio be horse related. Um, so they can go, you can do aliens too? Alright, we have an alien show. Help us with that. If they're like, oh, we have aliens in all your portfolios horses, yeah, we don't need you. So I'm a bit afraid of that now. Now I'm realizing that, oh, wait a minute. Every single thing in my portfolio is horse related. I haven't really done. My only human stuff that I've really worked with was Derpy Test. So. That's so bad. uh, so horses are my comfort zone. I've started animating with them. I'm still going, so it's like it's a little hard to transition. um, yeah. So with Everfree, it's like it's. I don't want to seem like I'm so still connected, like I'm tied down to this so much. That it's like I want to probably move on. I've said that like 3 years ago, but here I am. um, yeah. um, yeah. I feel like I don't know. I mean, the honest thing of like why I didn't want to go is kind of like health reasons. Is like I was kind of getting a little bit nervous to go to an in-person event, and just a little bit of financials as well. It's like, what am I really gonna get out of it? I mean, the times that I have gone, I feel like I haven't really got much exposure. I haven't been paid any exposure yet. I don't have merch to do as a vendor. If I was on one of the panels, it'll be one of the group ones, so it'll be like lost in the cards of that, and someone else would be with more skill and stuff be way more interesting to the public. So I was like, okay. I'm so middle of the road, I guess, with my stuff. That's kind of like I don't know what I excel in too much. um, I'm just a good animator, you know. It's like, all right, you know, it's kind of like not specialty in one area, I guess. So it's kind of I'm more of a general. Like I have to do um, all of the make the entire cartoon process all on my own. So I've had to pick up like every skill, I guess, like a 200 plus crew would have to do that I'm doing by myself. So that's been really fun. It's been fun, rewarding to do all this. Even though most of it now is kind of stressful with the Minute Hair stuff has been pretty stressful. So working on that. What working on now with Midnight Mares is that we got the made Mother's Day trailer that had like a couple minutes of animation, and then we worked on like another 2 minutes, and so now we're working on a little like sizzle fast reel of a whole bunch of different little tiny shots. So we're working on that right now. That's a little bit less stressful to work on. Just like, here's something that's 3 seconds and then that's it. You know, move on. Doesn't have to be super analyzed and picked apart, because like it's gonna be over when you blink. You know, so that's a little better. But yeah, trying to do that whole like 2 minute thing of like long shots. You know, shots were like over 10 seconds. Is like, ugh. Amount of lip syncing and like trying to keep on contact, and that's what I was saying earlier in the midstream is that shots that go on for too long, it's like you start to lose interest even on the animators, because it's like I don't know what to really do or focus on near the end. Without enough motivation, if it's just like a big speech from one character talking to another for 10 seconds, it's like there's not much you can really do to like really animate that to entertain. Really to adverb from entertainingly. Or it's you just keep going with it, and it's like, okay, yeah, I could probably like motion with their arms a little bit, and because they perform so much with horses and ponies, they perform all through their face. Their hands are just there to kind of pick up things, or like kind of walk. So when it's all through the face, it's like, yeah, there's not much really much to do with it when it goes around on for so long. That's like, I've already done this expression, you know, at the 4 second mark. What am I gonna do in the 8th? Like, she's kind of feeling the same way, you know, or emphasizing it in the same way like a couple seconds later. So it's like, do I do the same eyebrow expression, or do I do it a little bit different, or try to figure out a different way? So it's like, yeah, weird little things for that. So if it's like a faster like 2 or 3 second shot, it's like, okay, there's less time to make a whole bunch of different unique expressions, I guess. Yeah. Trying to think of anything else. Let's see. But oh, for the Everfree, they had the live streams, and I've been I watched as much as I could to my better actual working working schedule. Worked against it. I watched that instead of working. So, oh well, I had fun. It was like I was there. It's like, yeah, it's like being at a con and watching a bunch of panels. It's like, yep, that's kind of experience. That's full experience of that. But yeah, I watched the animator panel that was on Saturday. That was really fun. They kept it very less techy. Of course, there was that one part where I think DJ Dead started to talk about weight painting, and it's like, I think he caught himself of like noticing that it's like, yeah, with these people that are in the room, it's like no one's gonna know what weight painting is, or like really be like, okay, yeah, you're talking about weight painting. I know what that means, you know, and then talk about how Blender is a little bit not the most sophisticated, you know, well adjusted. I don't know. It's not very good at weight painting. And there's weird little glitches that are still there. So it's kind of, he was better reading a room that's like, yeah, okay. And he said like to one of the person that was asking it, like, yeah, go ahead and ask on Twitter, like, to get a better example or explain it more one-on-one to move on with the panel. I was like, just like, how complicated is it going to be? They say like, yeah, you know, they showed some G5 stuff and went through the trailer. They said like, yeah, we did not work on the movie, so any kind of special, like, specific questions of like, how do they animate this, is like, well, they can only interpolate from what they see on the trailer. But they were able to see a bunch of stuff and go like, yeah, the rendering and lighting looks really, really good. Like it's using like very high end like HDRs and what is it, denoising or something, subsurface, what's the ray tracing, there we go. I get to it one of the days. Right ray tracing has been very computer heavy. That only like they said only like 5 years ago has been movies really taking advantage of using ray tracing. So, um, and it looks like the next generation. What is it? A new generation. um, the movie is using some form of ray tracing or um, very good trickery to kind of cheat maybe. Um, but if using real ray tracing, that's it's very looks really nice and it looks really realistic of how they're using that. Um, those new rendering engines to their advantage and not skipping out and doing the my what's the bootleg my Philly princess. There's a show that's 3D with forces. Fantasia, Fantasia something. Um, where they have very matte, as in no reflection, very like low end rendering style. And so when you like compare it, it's like wow, new generation has a lot more sophisticated lighting and reflections compared to like the Philly bootleg show. So yeah, as with our project, doing it all 2D, um, won't really have to deal with those kind of interesting rendering issues. It'll just look like a cartoon, very flat. So I'm okay with that. That's okay. Um, had different ideas of how I want to do the background. Um, Wanted to figure out like what kind of style at first we wanted, and then working out like what kind of uh, programmer style would work best suited for that kind of background. So I think um, we'll figure it out. Probably talk about it more. But I think for probably this, maybe we can go maybe um, uh, maybe 2D. I was thinking of doing like even like 3D if we really want to play fancy. But probably just do like some multiplane. Have each element be on separate like distances from the camera. So like the sun will be really really far away, and then like the cliff will be closer, and then the foreground will be um, at the same level, uh, distance from the characters. So definitely gonna use that. Also, an idea that if we're gonna play really dangerously, we could have a 3D background, um, like how we did the 3D Bob Ross challenge. So obviously that took like a month or something, and this is probably gonna take probably just as long, if not longer. And if I blur it, then it's not gonna really matter if I do good or not. um, trying to think of like the brush texture I was thinking of, where it's kind of like has like the if you like push down a paintbrush, then it's got the little bristles and they add little tiny texture that kind of makes it look um, like it has a bunch of little tiny dots around the perimeter or whatever. Um, Something like that. Watercolory might be fun too. Um, yeah. So after if I figure out what kind of style and what kind of landscapes or whatever I want to do, then it'll just be up to picking out what kind of software meets those ideas. So obviously, if I start making this in Photoshop and then I realize that this may work better in 3D, then that time spent trying to do it in Photoshop might be a little bit wasted, but it'll be a good experiment. So it's kind of like, yeah, I want to use my time as best as I can to just go ahead and pick the right software at the onset and just go, I'm gonna do the same style as Bob Ross 3D Blender challenge and make some rough geometry and add all the detail using the painting texture painting. I think that's the Blender term. Is that there's that extra tab that lets you just draw and paint directly onto the mesh in a way. Either using a UV or directly on top of the mesh itself, which sometimes works. Other times, you're like drawing on one side, and then there's another object or mesh behind it that you're drawing on it instead. So probably UV's better. Anyway, let's see. We all doing? I haven't checked to see how you guys are doing. What I got? There's actually people here. Okay, from talking to myself. There's still a couple, I think. Hi. Okay. Because I was looking at the trailer, I wasn't able to see like my stats on the stream to know how many people were actually here, so I wasn't looking. Okay. I star. Hello. And everyone else, maybe you're just idle. Regardless or not, I hope this was fun. I'll spend some time trying to figure out what happened with the colors. I think I might just have to do it manually, or somehow like do some crazy make a new palette in original Puppet file, and then copy paste that specific palette into this combined file, or do something else crazy. So regardless, it's gonna be tricky to figure out what's the best method to to get these characters into different palettes, to get them to be different colors. So, oh boy. And then after that, on Thursday, I'll probably start keying out and probably just start doing some master controller head motion, get some keyframes of that, maybe get the just kind of start going with it. I think we're obviously I'm thinking ahead of like when I get some of these issues resolved, and it's like, okay, then the next step after that will then be keyframing and getting the extra pieces that I want to do. But yeah, it looks like everything's starting to come together. Yeah. That'll give me a little bit more time to also work on the mouse scroller heads and get their hair. The hair pieces are a little bit whack, to say the least, when they flip around. It's really tricky to align them correctly. Or like try to think of how Toon would interpolate between different poses, and all the weirdness of what happens and with that. So trying to work around that, I might have to add a whole bunch of nodes that like have it like be cut in some way, or like add extra pieces, like cover it, or like subtract or add pieces to patch places that don't quite work at some angles. So at the head angles, so there's gotta be a lot more work. So okay, but I think I'm good. Hope you guys are good. Hope this was entertaining to see. Like, yeah, this, even if I've been animating for 7-8 years or something, working with Toon for over a year, there's still weird things as like you mess up one thing and it's like, oh, I don't know why and how that happened. So there's always weird things, always new things to discover, and there's always a new glitch, an issue you can always find. The important thing is to try to figure out like, okay, you have an issue, and then work to figure out like, find out the variables and go, I think it's this, Obviously, I figured out that it's the palette, and it's somehow using the same, what I was explaining with those weird, under the hood code numbers that each color has, and so they're being applied to share between two different palettes, and even though they have different colors, they still under the hood have the same index value, and so it's like trying to separate that knot between them so that they actually have different index colors, and then they can then have actual seeable colors that's different. So that's what happened. Hex codes. The hex codes are the visible colors that are rendered. And so there's under the hood like Toon Boom palette colors. I think there's actually a way to view it. If I don't get it within the next less than a minute, I'll give up. I'm almost there. Palette library. So it creates this. Toon Boom creates this. I can show it over here. So this is a WordPad that has. Let's see if I can get it in the right place. So you can see it. There you go. So it creates this WordPad. Or at least I'm using WordPad to view these values here. And so we got the palette file too. And so it's got what it is a solid instead of a gradient. And it's got some, let's actually make it a little bit longer so I can see let's see here. If I can make this longer here. Does that work? Trying to have it so this is not on the same line. Well. Anyway, so it creates a huge number here. And so I'm sure if I open the Izzy and the Sunny, then somebody's exact under the hood crazy Toon Boom numbers will actually be will line up. So the hex numbers are these numbers. I think it's the 0000255, and so yeah, that's black. It's hard to show everything here. So the 00, and on the left 225 is the black color. And so here's an 86 here, as that changes that one. And so it goes through every color. And so every color has this huge under the hood number. And I don't know what to call it for now. It's the Toon Boom number. And then after that, it's the hex codes. And that's the visible numbers. That's what actually gets inputted into Toon Boom to say, like, display this with these values, and then the Toon Boom number. So when making palettes, it's important to make sure that these are unique. So if these are not unique, then whatever you paint black for one art piece, and then if you want it to be art piece 2 to be black, then you would use this, and then if you change the hex number for the black to be red, then those two art pieces will then turn red. So they're all being dependent on this number, this value. It's looking to the value and saying whatever is being painted with this value displays this color. So if you change the color, no matter where it is in the timeline or whatever it is in the file, as long as it's being colored with a specific value in here, then it'll display as a different color. So that's what's happening, is that two different values in two different palettes are likely using the same value itself, and so it's being displayed weirdly between the two different pieces. So yeah. Flash sorta has this. It's not quite, by default in Flash, you don't quite, you have the hex decimals and all that, what it's displayed as and stuff, but it doesn't have the palette per se. You can make palettes, but it's not default to be in the same, act the same way as Toon Boom. If you color something red in Flash using a default color picker, color fill paint bucket. If you used a regular paint bucket in Flash, and if you paint something red, and then if you go, I want this to be green, and so if you animated something that has 100 frames, in every single frame you painted it default red, and if you go in and say, I want this to be green, that one frame, whatever that one thing that you click to be a different color to be green, will be green, and then the other 99 frames after that, everything that you didn't click, by default will be red. So if you make the palette and then specify that you want to make a specific new swatch to be red, and then if you paint everything using that same swatch to be red, and if you go, I want this to be green, if you change that swatch, I think in Flash, then that should change everything that's being labeled that green, change that red to be green. So, yeah, it's just hard with Flash because it's like it's not on by default to have a palette, but with Toon Boom, you can't willy-nilly add a new color or not specify a color to be an actual valuable a variable color. You have to have, with Toon Boom, you have to have a specific value, that weird huge number, and then it's just being displayed as a certain color. So, yeah. Anyway, hope that was fun. Our little happy accident led to a fun, weird deep dive into how the color works in these programs. So, obviously, in the 20s and 30s, golden age animation, worst thing would happen is that you just mixed up your mixture of colors a little bit wrong, and you get a different pigment. And go, whoops, I already painted it. So, because you painted back to front to back, you're painting on the back side of the cell. So, the marker, let's say, is on one side, and so you flip it so the marker side is marker side down, and then you paint. So, the worst thing is that you just used the wrong color, and then that's bad, because then you would have to, scratch it out or try to get the paint off. It's really tricky to remove colors. So, luckily with Art Digital, it's like, oh, I just want to change this color midway through and go, I want this to be like 1% darker. And it's like, you can do that if you use the palettes and stuff. So, palettes are good, but they're super handy. But when there's like weird instances like this, that's like kind of come up some at a time. I haven't had this really happen too often, so it's kind of like, oh, and it just be like this little slip of a click to just click on one versus the other, if not really understanding whether it's a duplicate or a clone, and probably other instances of variables that I misvalued. So, anyway, okay. Yeah, I should go. I'm kind of hungry. And I want to actually work on cleaning this up, so, and work on some other stuff. So, okay. Thank you so much, guys. Yep. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Xar. And everyone else is still here. Thank you. Hope this was at least somewhat entertaining of this deep dive in this. So yeah, we'll continue on this. Hopefully I'll fix that color thing, and then we should be ready to go and start keyframing some stuff. That'll be fun. And work on some animation hopefully next time. That'll be cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of elements and stuff to work on. So we'll see. What we're gonna tackle first. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Okay, thank you. Bye, guys. Oh, thank you. Bye. Oh boy.